Hello, everyone. Welcome live to 3Y TV, tonight's broadcast of the Total Nonstop Racing League. It is the season finale here tonight from the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Brickyard, for 150 miles, 60 laps around this famed racetrack. I am Peter Short, and joining me in the booth here tonight is Bob Giaquinto. And Bob, great to be back here at the Brickyard as we look down this front stretch. Of course, the yard of bricks right down there by the start-finish line. We're going to see which of these drivers is going to cross that start-finish line here tonight and take home the 2020 Season B Thornton Graphix Cup.
Yeah, I can't believe we're already at this point of the season, the last race of the season, and just what a fantastic season that we've had so far. A lot of great races. Our first race on dirt to kick off the season. We were here already once doing the Indy road course here, and this is just what a perfect setting to finish out the B season of the Thornton Graphix Cup here at Total Nonstop Racing.
Yeah, and let's talk about tonight the standings coming into this race here, Bob, because you can see them down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, and really someone out here is going to have to play spoiler for Jason Gracias. It's been the Jason and Jason story all season with Gracias and Freeman, and Gracias an 11-point advantage coming into tonight. It's, holy moly, I think that's Steven Doziak going for a ride there in the 55.
Oh man, he's just giving us a little show here for the pre-race, but yeah, I mean the battle here between the Jasons this entire season has just been fantastic, back and forth. Jason Gracias 2 wins on the season. Jason Freeman, as you can see there on the lower corner of your screen, Jason Freeman just 11 points behind. It's going to be a huge battle between these two for tonight's race. Every point up for grabs, and I mean just some fantastic racing out of all of these drivers. But these top 5. Really going to be it's going to be a good race tonight.
Yeah, that it is definitely going to be interesting to see as well that battle for third place in points, because Philip Scott only has a 1-point advantage over Billy Thornton there. And keep an eye on Billy Thornton in that race car. He's been one of those drivers who has been able to keep his car clean in a lot of races and has kind of crept up the standings right at the end. However, it is Philip Scott right now sitting in the 5th position, who is pretty much the fastest of the top 4. Tristan Maher, actually the fastest of the chase drivers here tonight, running in 4th position here in this practice. But you'll be able to see all of the drivers up there at the top of your screen and the left side of your screen as we move over into the race. Highlighted in orange, those are your chase drivers, led by the number 4 of Jason Gracias. 11-point advantage coming into tonight. And now we'll go out there on the racetrack because we have a newcomer to the series here tonight. Connor Hall in the 77, fastest so far in practice.
Yeah, Connor joining the league now, really just kind of showing up and saying, hey, I'm here. We saw that last week again with Chris Stewart coming away with the win, one of the newcomers for the this ARCA series. But yeah, Cameron Hall really putting in some work here on the track, leading in practice with about a minute and a half or so to go.
And there is the number 4 machine. All eyes will be on these two that you see on your screen here tonight. The 20th Jason Freeman in the Mason-Dixon Cornhole Chevrolet. He'll be trying to catch that man right there in the 4 Discount Tire machine of Jason Gracias. 11 points separating them, and there are points on the line in the stage break here tonight. We'll have to keep an eye on when that caution flag flies and who will walk away with the 3 bonus points for leading at the one and only stage break. But definitely been a strong season for the 2 Jasons as they battle things out here at Indianapolis. And whoa, Jason Gracias, big slide there out of turn number 4, getting a little bit of pit practice. And I gotta say, based off of the race that we had last season, I should say, earlier this year at TNR, at this racetrack, a lot of green flag running. There was green flag pit stops, and I'm sure that's why that number 4 is coming down and getting as much on pit road as he can get.
Yeah, absolutely, Peter. I mean, we've seen it this entire season. Green flag pit stops are really going to be key. One of the reasons why Mike Floppy Tellier, who's out there on the track right now, 3rd place so far in the standings, missed the playoffs because at Chicagoland, he had was caught speeding on pit road, had the race basically won, if not for the pit road speeding penalty, and because of that, he didn't make it into these chase races. So really key to make sure you get your car woed up and down to pit road speed as quick as possible.
Yeah, and that is going to be it for the practice session as we move over here into the qualifying session here in just a little bit. You take a look at the 2.5 mile Fort Turn famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Like we mentioned, we were here earlier this season when we were at the road course. You can see that road course there in the inner portions of the racetrack, as well as the golf course that is there in the inside portion of the racetrack. Also on the right-hand side, down the backstretch, that golf course is there. Very picturesque setting. Of course, the big pagoda that was added when Formula One came to the racetrack in the year 2000. Very, very cool to see Indianapolis Motor Speedway in all of its glory here today, and playing host to the season finale of the Total Nonstop Racing. But we have a couple cars out there on the racetrack, led by the number 20 of Jason Freeman.
Yeah, Jason Freeman out there right now, as we see him going down the back straightaway, hoping to get a good standing here as we get ready to start the race. Again, like we showed on the graphics earlier, only 11 points out of first place, and has been having a pretty solid season. Average start of 6th, average finish of 5th, so very consistent up front, and it's exactly what you have to do to win this championship.
Yeah, we'll see him here. He's going to come to the start-finish line. Very unique racetrack, this one, Bob, because 4 corners, each one 90 degrees. Of course, you have the very long front stretch and very long back stretch. But those corners right there, each one is a little bit different. And, oh, man, that's a little bit of oversteer out the back end of the number 20. And I'm not sure that's what Jason Freeman wants. You see that right there coming through the second corner there onto the backstretch. And really, Bob, it's important here that you get turn number 2 and turn number 4 just right because of those long straightaways. You really want to get those 2 corners right so you get that long launch, and that's really where you can make your move down the front and back stretch.
Exactly. Big old momentum is going to be on your side here. If you can get off of turns 2 and 4 with that long front and back straightaway, you have to get the exit just right in order to carry that speed through the corner and all the way down the straightaways. And, those exits are what is going to be the make or break for tonight.
And Jason Freeman going to come across the start-finish line. We'll bring up the qualifying chart here as times start to trickle in. It is currently Philip Scott in the number 99, one of your chase drivers, currently atop the leaderboard with 2.5 minutes left. Each driver's really going to have to hustle here tonight to get both of their qualifying lap times in. Because these lap times here fairly long. You see that at 53.073 up there at the top of the board by the number 99. And look at his teammate, Tristan Mayer, there in second. So 99 and 98, 1-2 right now before you find the number 77 of Connor Hall. They're slotting into third right in front of Jason Freeman. But Jason Gracias in the 4 has yet to put a time in the number 4 machine.
Yeah, not quite yet. I'm sure he's going to be biding his time, looking to get back out there on the track. He's waiting to see, okay, well, Philip Scott, 53 flat. Maybe I can try to, work with something, try to take a look at my previous laps in practice and see what's going on here as Jason Gracias now out on the racetrack heading through turn number 1.
And not a great lap number 1 for the number 4 discount tire Dodge Charger. He is currently 7th out of the 11 drivers to put time in. Kyle Geveshausen right down there in the 44, running a 55.094, running 11th. He's going to have to see if he can pick up the pace on lap number 2. Same thing with Joe Heater in the number 35. It's a big gap from 9th back to 10th. But meanwhile, your front 9 separated just under a second as Connor Hall, the man fastest in our practice session just a little bit ago. He's jumped up to the top of the board. Gracias now trickles down to 9th position. Billy Thornton, the other chase driver, yet to put in a time down there right at the bottom. But Gracias coming out of turn number 4. What can he do on lap number 2 as Mike Floppy Tellier jumps to the top of the board.
Wow, and here comes Jason Gracias coming across the yard of bricks. Let's see if he's able to pick up some time here.
Does not look like it. So it looks like Gracias will be starting deep in the field for the Indianapolis 150. Going to be interesting to see that. Same thing with Billy Thornton in the number 5 machine. We'll see if we can catch a ride on board with him. Oh, he's one and done in that number 5. So that's not what he wanted. There's the number 38, Vincent Valvano, currently being scored down in 13th. He's out there on the racetrack. Derek Cook in the number 21 also turning some laps in, but the timer up there in the top left-hand corner of the screen is ticking down very, very quickly. And it looks like Mike Floppy Tellier, unless someone can bump him off the pole, will be starting from P1.
Man, yeah, and another chase spoiler has been Mike Floppy Tellier. He's been the spoiler pretty much this entire chase, getting the win at North Wilkesboro, and really in just dominating fashion. And unfortunately, last week at Iowa, got taken out in a wreck fairly late on into the race as well. So, Mike Tellier, really a strong driver and definitely the best of the rest to not make it into the chase.
And that is going to do it for qualifying. You see all those times on the left-hand corner of your screen before we move over here into the race session. But I got to say, I'm very, very impressed with the way the number 97, Mike Floppy Tellier, has been racing as of late. He got that dominating win a couple of weeks back at Nashville, I believe it was, and really just lights out in that race. And looking for redemption after missing the chase a couple of weeks ago. Meanwhile, let's see if we can go down to our tonight's starting lineup. We'll see if we can find one of those drivers who have made their way down to the end of pit road. There we go. They're slowly populating out there onto the racetrack, and looks like that number 97 has indeed popped up. So, I think it's time to go through our starting lineup. How about you there, Bob?
Yeah, let's take a look here now. Starting on pole, the 97, Mike Floppy Tellier. On his outside, newcomer Cameron Hall in the 77, starting second. Taking a look now at row number 2 on the inside, playoff driver Philip Scott in the 99 machine. Then on his right side, another playoff driver in fourth is Tristan Maher. Down on row number 3 on the inside, another chase driver, Jason Freeman in the 20. And then next to him, James Babb. We saw him had a great finish last week at Iowa. In row 4, the 49, Chris Stewart, last week's winner at Iowa. And on the outside of him, the 41 of Tony Lucarelli. Rounding out the top 10 in 9th, the 12 of Cam Caldwell. And on his outside, starting 10th, chase driver and points leader, Jason Gracias.
As the cars start to roll off, we'll continue to go through the starting lineup here for you guys. On row number 6 on the inside, Steven Doziak Jr. in the number 55 machine. Billy Thornton Graphix machine there, left-hand side of your screen. He is the last of the chase drivers to roll off here. He'll be starting in 12th. Meanwhile, 13th on the inside, on the inside of row number 7, that will be the number 38 of Vincent Valavano, with DeMarco Starks back behind him in the number 13 from the 14th position. Then behind them on row number 8 on the inside, that'd be the number 35 of Joe Heater. Kyle Geveshausen, the last car to take time, will be rolling off from 16th position. Back behind them on the inside of row number 9, that's Ryan Lang in the number 31 machine, with Jerry Glenn to his outside from 18th. A couple of newcomers to the league. Garrett Gleason, the man himself who runs the show, will be starting off in 19th. Derek Cook to his outside. And we'll take you through the rest of the field here with Stephen Kegman, the only driver. Well, not the only driver to take time, but he will be the only driver on row number 11. And rounding out tonight's 21 car field. Great field here tonight, I got to say, Bob. It is going to be a fun one for 150 miles, 60 laps around this place.
That's for sure. A lot of newcomers here to the league. A lot of new guys from last week's race. Great to see them coming in and racing yet again this week here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And, man, I'm just ready to go. Let's get this race started.
Mike Tellier up there in the Ford Fusion, going to lead us to the green flag. That all-black number 77 to his outside. Pretty cool to see these newcomers to the league kind of jump up to the top of the board so quickly. That would, of course, be the number 77 of Connor Hall, as the pace car going to head down pit road. Race in the hands of the number 97. The final race of the 2020 B Series here in the Total Nonstop Racing League is underway, and it is the number 97, the Canadian Mike Floppy Tellier, who leads us to the green, but the number 77 of Connor Hall, huge jump off into turn number 1. They're side by side for the race lead.
Yeah, side by side coming here out of turn number 2. Great move by Hall to stay on the outside of Tellier. As they're still side by side, looks like Hall able to jump down in front of the 97, and Hall's going to take the lead coming out down the back straightaway.
Oh man, we got something happening in the back. Not sure what that was about. I saw someone's bumper go flying, but looks like we're going to stay clean and green, at least for now. Connor Hall leads with Mike Floppy Tellier in the number 97 there right behind him. Look at the number 98 and 99, a couple of teammates there, Tristan Maher and the number 99 of Philip Scott, with Jason Freeman there in 5th. And here comes the 97 of Mike Floppy Tellier. He's going to look for the race lead in contact, and Babb back there with a big wiggle in the 00.
Man, what a great move there by the 97 to get right underneath the 77, coming out of the turn, able to get some momentum on his side. And like we said in the pre-race, that momentum on the exit of turn number 4 really is what gave the move to the 97 of Tellier, but some contact there between one of the chase drivers, the 98 of Maher, and Maher goes around!
And he's hard into the outside wall. Caution flag will wave here at Indianapolis. We'll see if we can go back and get a replay on that one and see exactly what happened, but it looked like a little bit of contact there between a couple of your front runners. We'll see if we can get possibly a little bit better look at this one. This was between the 98 right there, Tristan Maher, and the 77. 77 looking underneath them and just a little bit of contact in the left rear, and Maher goes spinning around. The 77 also got a piece of it, but he was able to recover pretty quickly. Definitely the number 98 getting the bad piece of that one. Definitely not what he wanted to have happen here at the start of the race. Also looks like the number 99 also has a little bit of left front damage. So a couple of your chase drivers here early in the race with drama. Championship implications possibly for a couple of them.
Man, oh man, just what a... And it looked like it was just one of those racing deals as the 77 went down. 98 also went down at the corner, both fighting for the same amount of real estate. But this will be a great view here. The 77 went down, 98 went down, looked like he went to cover and just got into the back of the 98. And interesting to see where the 99 got damage. He might have gotten in the back of the 77, but let's take a look here and see what's happening there.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to get exactly a replay of that one lined up as we are back live. There's the 77 of Connor Hall. Now, we say championship implications, but I'll tell you what, Bob, these drivers do have one fast repair, and I'm sure for the 99 and the number 98, they're probably going to use that fast repair because this is a racetrack where aerodynamics are very, very important, and I would expect to see both of those cars on pit road here when pit road finally opens here on lap number 3.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, aerodynamics is going to be huge at this track. And, you know, like you had mentioned, every driver gets one fast repair here at Indianapolis. And as we say, that looks like the 99 of Philip Scott is going to be going down pit road, looking to take care of some damage. Some more guys further back in the pack also heading down the 98, obviously going down too. But one driver that we don't see on pit road is the 77 of Hall.
Yeah, I think he didn't get a lot of damage out of that. It was some very light contact, and as his car flashed by the box here this last time by, it looked all right. I think he's probably going to save that fast repair if he can till later in the race. He's probably going to feel it out because we don't have all too far before that one and only stage break that we're going to have here. Meanwhile, all these cars coming down pit road to fix their damage, including the 99 and the 98. And it looks like the number 99 is going to try and save that fast repair. There's a lot of left front damage as that crew goes to work. They pulled it out just a little bit. There you see they pull it out just a little bit more. So we'll see just how much they're able to fix that Scott's number 99 of Philip Scott. And speaking of Philip Scott, we got Ryder Lee Angle in the chat rooting on Philip Scott here tonight, saying, let's go, Philip. And he's going to be down and away. The only driver still sitting in his pit box there is Tristan Maher.
Yeah, I mean, with the track this big as big as Indianapolis, you have a lot of time that you can spend on pit road to try to get as much damage taken care of manually before you have to use the fast repair as well. So a good idea there by Maher and Scott both to not use the fast repair quite yet. Just let the crews get out there, fix the damage, see what they can do, and then once the pace car gets close enough to pit road, then is when you're going to want to be down and away.
Let's see if we can dial up our pole sitter and current race leader, the number 97 of Mike Floppy Tellier here, because I'm sure he will be very happy with that qualifying lap time here just a little bit ago. Mike, you got a copy?
I do.
Well, I'll tell you what, fantastic lap in qualifying. I know we saw you a couple of weeks back at Nashville just wipe the field, leading basically every single lap in that one. Similar strategy here tonight, I'm sure?
I have no idea. I'm normally terrible here. I'm good for about a lap, and that's it. So, hey, qualifying, I was good for a lap, and that's it.
Well, good for a lap and then some, because you are the current race leader here as we go back to green here in just under a lap. We'll keep with you for just a little bit. What is your strategy for this race? I mean, you kind of sound like, you're good here for a lap, or, do you think maybe you need to try and save some more tires, play with the brake bias, just kind of save those front tires some more, or what do you think you're expecting to see here tonight? How's the car driving as well? Is that going to play into your strategy?
I definitely like the way the car feels after like 2 or 3 laps. It seems to fit the way I want to drive. So As long as I don't do anything silly the first lap here, getting up to speed and letting the tires warm up, I think I'll be okay. I don't think I'll have long run speed like these guys, but I mean, I'm hoping for at least a top 10, maybe top 5 finish by the end of tonight.
Well, definitely that would be strong, and possibly even walk away with a top 5. Don't get too down on yourself. You are the race leader when we go back green, Mike. And best of luck here for the remainder of the race.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, well, folks, that was Mike Floppy Tellier. We're going to let him get back to it as the pace car here. Going to head down pit road here in just a minute. But, Bob, already the first caution flag out the window. Hopefully we can get some green flag running here before we make it to the one and only stage break that we have here tonight.
Yeah, hopefully. Let's see if they can get down to the stage break. And like we had mentioned, this stage break, points are on the line. So especially if you're one of these chase drivers, 3 points for a stage win, 2 points for a second place finish, and 1 point for a third place finish. All of those points really, truly do matter. As coming into tonight, Billy Thornton only 1 point behind Philip Scott. So really every point here as the green flag is up in the air, and Mike Floppy Tellier able to take the lead as they head off across the line into turn number 1.
Yeah, they head off into turn number 1. Sorry about the camera work there, but that number 97 going to lead us now into turn number 2. Good restart for him right there with the number 77 back behind him. And that's where it starts to get a little bit interesting back there, because look at this battle between Jason Gracias and Cam Caldwell in the number 12 machine right there, that Valvoline Chevrolet on the inside. Meanwhile, back up at the front, here comes the 77 of Connor Hall. Doesn't have any damage on that race car, and he's going to get himself back up to the front.
Yeah, great move there, diving down in below the 97, able to pick up the spot. And, like Mike had said in that interview, he says his car is only good for one lap. And, well, so far he's hanging in there behind Hall.
And Vincent Valvano there caught a piece of the wall in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Chevrolet. He's going to slide back there behind the number 35 of Joe Heater as they go off into turn number 1. He's currently being scored down in the 13th position. Meanwhile, there was a little bit of smoke up ahead. Not sure what that was all about, but looks like they're able to keep things nice and clean. Meanwhile, I think that's the 31 right there, Ryan Lang, getting around the outside of the number 13 machine. That, of course, is driven by DeMarco Starks. And here comes Billy Thornton in the number 5 machine. That is a battle for the 10th position.
Yeah, good battle here, bro. And as we're used to seeing the 41 or the 44 rather of Giveshausen with the mellow yellow paint scheme, but right now it's the 31 Ryan Lang with the move. He's got the position right now, but here comes Billy Thornton looking right on his tail.
And look at all these cars as they head down the front stretch. This gives you such a good picture, Bob, of how long this front stretch is and how important it is to get a good launch coming out of turn number 4, because a good launch out of turn number 4, you can carry that momentum all the way down the front stretch and try and make the move off into turn number 1. And these cars are no slouches around this joint. These cars go very, very quickly. In fact, let's see if we can go on board here with James Babb in the 00 machine. We'll see if we can bring up the speed graphic, because you can see right down there in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, almost 190 miles an hour at the end of the straightaway before he gets on the binders to get it down to the apex here, running right down there below that white line. That's where you want to be. You don't want to hit the curb that's down there, but you just want to kind of get as close as you can to it, because there is quite a bit of grip down there, as Babb has just a little tiny wiggle coming out of 4.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talk about momentum coming out of the turn, but getting into turns 1 and 3 are also going to be very important as well. How much brake are you going to use? Are you going to let off the throttle, or how much are you going to let off the throttle? And things like that are also going to be a key for you to set up getting out of turns 4 and 2 as well.
Yeah, looking a little bit further back in the pack right now, the number 99 of Philip Scott. He's running right in front of the number 7 machine. And I gotta say, that number 7 machine sporting a little bit of a different look this week. It says thank you to 3 Wide TV. And thank you, Peter and Bob. And absolutely no pleasure, or my pleasure, no pleasure.
No pleasure, none whatsoever.
None whatsoever. That car is hideous. No, I'm just kidding. My pleasure there, Garrett. It's been wonderful calling this series all season long, and find a little bit of homage to the paint scheme that I won with here at Indianapolis in the 2020 A season. with a car that looked just about like that. So pretty cool to see that out there on the racetrack. But right in front of them, Philip Scott in the number 99. Remember, he was involved in that accident there, Bob. Doesn't look like he's been able to shake it off. He's still struggling back there right now, running down in the 18th spot.
Yeah, luckily, though, for him, the caution flag should be coming out as the leaders come across the line here to finish lap number 10. But, maybe that's something where he has to look back and say, man, at least I have a couple laps fresher tires than the rest of the field. Should I pit? We only have 2 sets of tires right now in the pits. So is this something that maybe I can come down? I use this, use the last pit stop. Did I take tires? Did I not take tires? Let's see. But here we go, coming to the line for the stage win. It looks like Mike Tellier. Oh, wow. Cameron Hall actually is going to be getting the win here for the stage as the caution flag comes out.
Yeah, that was a huge battle between those two. I think Tellier had it right there at the line. We'll see if we can go back and look at that, because the battle between them was pretty immense. Here we go, back live, or back on replay, excuse me. Watch this. I'm going to slow it down into slow motion, because that's exactly what you do here on 3 Wide TV, isn't that right? And we're going to continue to slow it down. And yeah, it looked like that 97 just pipped him by a nose to the stripe there. Very, very impressive between these two. Pretty much dominating early on. Meanwhile, it was a little bit after the start-finish line when the caution flag flew. So interestingly enough, Connor Hall appears to be the man who will actually be leading, because of that slight delay for the yellow flag to get flown. So that number 77 is currently first. Mike Floppy Tellier in second. How about that, folks? If that's any indication of what we're going to see later on in the race, that is going to be awesome to see right at the end of the race. Logie Bear is saying, I forgot about this, LOL. Dude, how can you forget about 3 Wide TV? How can you forget about us? Seriously, I gotta say, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the 3 Wide TV races, because that's one way to not miss them. And speaking of subscribers, we're almost up to 700. We're up to 696 when I looked earlier today. So if you're watching right here and you're not subscribed to 3 Wide TV, make sure you hit the button so we can get one more person closer to 700. We're really hoping one day to get into the quadruple digits and get to 1,000, but definitely going to be pretty cool when we eventually get over that mark. But we thank you guys for stopping in and watching this race here today. We'll see if we can bring up the current standings there after the end of stage number 1. And Bob, it was a pretty interesting race right there at the end. Mike Tellier said, oh man, I only got speed for 1 lap, but he was able to not only track down the 77 machine, he was able to pass him and hold him off there before getting to the start-finish line.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know where Mike's getting his information, because clearly he's got more than 1 lap in that car. That's going to be good. He had some great momentum on his side coming out of turn number 4, if I can get my mouth to work tonight. So just a really great job driving here tonight for Mike Tellier.
Yeah, and we did have some questions in the chat of what happened to the number 99 of Philip Scott, and he was involved in an accident right there. I believe it was on lap number 2 of the race, and just got a piece of it, came down pit road, got as much damage repaired as possible, but he is more than likely going to use a fast repair here, which will get his car nice and clean and back up to competitive speed. Meanwhile, we got a bunch of cars headed off pit road, and it looks like Tellier and the 20. That was a close battle off pit road. Looks like Freeman might have pipped Tellier there right to the stripe. We'll keep an eye on that number 99 of Philip Scott. Yes, it looks like he indeed used a fast repair. He's going to get rolling in that Scott's Taurus as the rest of the field flashes on by. Trying to see if any drivers stayed out. We actually did have a couple of drivers stay out on the racetrack, including that man right there. That's the number 41 of Tony Lucarelli. He's got the number 7 right there of Garrett Gleason, who also elected to stay out. So we'll see if the 7 comes down pit road here shortly. And one thing about the back of the number 77 machine, Bob, is the fact that he says that they're going to the Xfinity cars for next season. That's right. These ARCA cars will be out and will be in the Xfinity cars next year. A little bit more horsepower, a little bit more downforce. Going to be fun to see those cars whip around the racetrack with these TNR boys.
For sure, and I'm really excited to see once we get the full schedule for the Xfinity series as well, to see where these guys are going to be going and just the exciting racing that they have in store. So I'm already looking forward to 2021, especially Part A of the season.
Yeah, and there goes Garrett Gleason headed down pit road. Lucarelli's going to stay out, however, so that's going to be interesting to see how that all works out. Ryder Leangle asking whether or not Philip Scott took tires under his first pit stop. He did not. He just came down to get damage repaired. So it was on lap number 2, so those tires weren't really worn. There is a tire limit in effect that these drivers have to watch out for. So he is on the same tire strategy as the rest of the field. Meanwhile, the only driver who's now off strategy is this man right here, Tony Lucarelli, who will lead us back to green here shortly in a new look, that number 41 Monster Energy scheme. That car, Bob, painted by one of Total Nonstop Racing's friends and longtime drivers, Christopher Darling over at Max Graphics. Fantastic painter. Make sure you check them out. I believe there's a link in the description here of this video of Max Graphics, so you can get your own hot-looking iRacing paint scheme. And I'm sure if you have another graphics need out there, you can also hit up our friends over at Thornton Graphix, because Thornton Graphix sponsor the Thornton Graphics Cup here in the Total Nonstop Racing League. And while we're at it, might as well mention DRP, Dunn Raceway Park in Old Forge, Pennsylvania, indoor off-road RC racing track, also helping to put together the 2020 B Series here in the Total Nonstop Racing League. Huge shout out to them, because without them, this type of racing would not be possible. And definitely going to be great to have them back on board here, hopefully, in the 2021 A Series. And going to be fun to see a lot of the racetracks we're going to. And I tell you what, Bob, I'm looking forward to some of the tracks that we get to go to next season. Some new tracks on the schedule, and it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really excited for the race in Montreal. That may or may not be happening. I know there's some discussion of new setups and things like that for the Xfinity cars there, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm a big fan of watching road course racing, and that one's definitely one of the races I'm looking forward to next year rather.
And that was not a very clean restart right there. There was a little bit of wheel spin out of the number 41 machine. We'll see if we can go back and get this one on the replay here, because Lucarelli, I don't know if he spun his tires or what, but watch what happened right here. He went up in front of the 77. There was contact between the two, and boy, oh boy, that was almost a huge accident. As we go back live now, halfway down the backstretch, Lucarelli is going to lose out the race lead here to Jason Freeman in the number 20 machine. And Freeman going to dive off into turn number 1, and there goes the 77 of Connor Hall trying to get that second spot. Looks like he's going to make that pass nice and neatly under the 41 machine.
Yeah, great pass there by Hall once again. But, man, going back to that Lucarelli incident, I don't even know what happened. Maybe he thought he was clear, tried to jump up in front of him as they came across the line. That was just absolutely bizarre. But here they go, almost looking 3 wide as they're coming across the stripe now.
Someone's going to have to back out, going off into turn number 1. They're still not backing out. Oh, the 49 there was the one who had to back out, Chris Stewart. And boy, oh boy, that was almost carnage in turn number 1. Meanwhile, that's allowed the top 2 to really scoot away. Mike Tellier, who led the first couple of laps he's now stuck back behind Chris Stewart. He's down in 5th as there is a hard-charging group of cars down the backstretch. And it looks like for now, Lucarelli is able to scoot away just a little bit.
Man, oh man, just a big gaggle of cars here between Stewart, Tellier, the 31 there of Lang as well, Jason Gracias, one of our chase competitors here. Jason Freeman, though, able to start skipping away and starting to pull away just a little bit from this pack. Jason Freeman wound up getting 1 point there after the stage break, which brought his deficit now 1 point closer to the points lead. So this is really going to have some chase implications here.
Yeah, and of course, those were the standings coming into tonight. So that 1 point that Freeman picked up there in that stage break, like you mentioned, that is going to be very, very important, because now he's only 10 points behind Jason Gracias. And if this race were to end now, folks, it would be very, very tight with Gracias running down there in 8th. But as I say that, battle up at the front of the field, because Connor Hall just took the race lead away from the 20 of Jason Freeman. New race leader, that number 77 machine.
Man, Connor Hall really has a very strong car here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We've seen him time and time again, able to make the move, get around the leader, make that pass, and just kind of take off now as he's got a bit of a lead now, about a car length or so ahead of Jason Freeman.
Yeah, we're going to have to watch, though, and see whether or not he can save his tires, because we saw the 97 of Tellier start to run him down. And, whoa, this is not a spot where you'd like to see 3 wide out at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Looks like Cam Caldwell thinks a little bit better of it. Calm heads prevail. And that number 12 Valvoline machine now headed down the back stretch. Jason Gracias in the number 4 machine trying to get past Cam Caldwell. That'd be a battle for 7th. And looks like that number 4, he might have had a nose in front there of that number 12 machine. But this is a good gaggle, good battle back here around the 7th position on back.
Yeah, some great racing here. A lot of these drivers, you can really just fit them under the blanket. Oh, as the 00 of Bab looks like had to make some evasive actions there, as the 5 of Billy Thornton and 99 of Philip Scott were involved back there as well.
Yeah, we're just gonna go back and take a peek at that, because yeah, I saw that was just a little bit of a bobble. Yeah, definitely almost contact there between the 00 and the 5. Good job of those drivers staying off from one another and able to fight another day. Meanwhile, out there on the racetrack, we have a caution flag that has come out. We'll see what happened back here. This is Joe Heater as well as the number 23, Jerry Glenn, both running coming out of turn number 4. And was there contact? Oh, yes, there was. And heavy contact for Joe Heater there, as well as Jerry Glenn bringing out the caution flag. We'll get another look at that one to see exactly how this all went down. But these two cars, they were really close with one another. Here we go on board with Jerry Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn looks like he got a pretty decent run on Heater. And a couple, just 2 guys coming together there. A little more speed. Ooh, as they get right into that pit wall.
That is
hard hit.
That was an absolute monster of a hit on that number 23 machine. You can't have a heavier hit. We'll watch this one more time. And Bob, what happened here is it looks like he just gave him a little bit of a bump draft. And we've seen with these cars that the bump draft, yikes, that is a heavy hit with that number 23 machine. Looks like that car completely toast. Had to take a tow back to pit road. You can see smoke billowing out of the pit wall there. That was such a heavy hit. But he just caught him a little bit too much, and we've seen this year, even on the super speedways, you can't bump draft with these cars at all.
No, absolutely not. And it's one of those things where the front bumper of these cars is so much lower than the back bumper of the cars, and it causes almost like a wedge where the car behind gets up underneath the car in front, lifts the back wheels off the ground of that car in front, and just kind of you're at the mercy of physics at that point.
Yeah, so we're closing in on the 1/3 race distance here, getting closer to lap number 20. 41 laps to go. RC Plains 59 in the chat as well here, so hopefully you're having a good evening here on 3 Wide TV. Great to have all you guys here for quite a few races this year. Meanwhile, pit road looks like it might be pretty busy. Looks like most of the cars coming down. Now the big question is going to be, Bob, is how many of these cars take tires, because they do have tire limits here tonight. And Tony Lucarelli, he stayed out, so we know he's got an extra set of tires on pit road, but he wasn't losing a lot of ground in that number 41 machine there, which was a bit surprising. We saw him lose the lead, but definitely he was able to hold on to a top 3 position. There he goes across the yard of bricks.
Yeah, for sure, which is a little bit surprising. I mean, obviously, these guys aren't going to be using up their tires so early on here in the race, but I'm surprised that he didn't fall back a little bit more after staying out on the previous caution, getting pretty sideways as they came back for green. And right now, it looks like a lot of differing strategies here. Some guys getting some tires, some guys taking none at all, as a lot of these guys are down and away.
Yep, down and away. Lucarelli is going to be one of the cars a little bit further back. There is that number 38 machine. And folks, we're going to take a brief step away. We'll see if we can fix some of the stuttering issues that we're getting here tonight in Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll be right back here in just a brief moment. All right, folks, welcome back to, you get to see a little bit of the iRacing user interface there. Do apologize for that, but we are back live here. Pace car lights have turned off. You haven't missed any of the racing, but meanwhile, up at the front, Vincent Valvano in the number 38 machine will be the one leading us back to green here as he elected to stay out here, Bob.
Yeah, elected to stay out. I'm not sure if he pitted the last time around, but regardless, he's going to be the one leading us back here to green.
Yeah, so that number 38 will be starting in first. Connor Hall in the 77 to his outside. And really, Valvano there is going to have to watch out for wheel spin. We saw a little bit of wheel spin under that last restart up there at the front of the field between, that was the 41 Lucarelli and the 77 machine. So we're going to have to see, hopefully, no wheel spin, but expect to see that Ford Mustang. There it goes down onto pit road. The 38 Vincent Valvano gets us back to green, but the 77's on the lap pedal, possibly a little bit of wheel spin from that 38 machine. We're back to green flag racing at Indy.
Yeah, just a little bit of wheel spin there by Valvano, but here they go 3 wide, driving down into the corner. On the outside, Maher down below on the inside. That was the number 12 of Cam Caldwell. Good move by him just to kind of back out of the gas and try not to go 3 wide here as Vinny Valvano is starting to fall back just a little bit, still in third. But with the 12 of Caldwell right on his back bumper.
Yeah, and that number 5, Billy Thornton, how about him starting to make some noise up there near the front of the field? That number 5 going to try and power around the outside, but did he power too much? Looks like he did. He wasn't able to hold on to the outside. That's going to open the door here for Cam Caldwell in the number 12 Valvoline machine. This is the battle right now for the 4th position with Caldwell getting a run on the inside coming out of turn number 4.
Nice battle here between Caldwell and the 5 of Billy Thornton. Thornton, obviously one of our chase drivers here up in the top 5. Jason Freeman in 7th. Gracias there down in 13th. Scott 15th. But Tristan Maher right now, the leader of our chase drivers, still up front in 2nd.
Yeah, Maher doing a good job here tonight. We mentioned here about the fact that he needs a good night because looking at the point standing, he is 18 points behind Billy Thornton coming into tonight. But that battle between Philip Scott and Billy Thornton for the 3rd position in points, that is a really tight battle right now because Thornton running there inside the top 5. You see him right there in the 4th position trying to run down Vincent Valvano in the 38, who's doing a fantastic job of sticking with the leaders. He got a little bit off strategy. And how about Tony Lucarelli there on the right-hand corner of the screen? He's trying to poke his nose out. He's trying to get around. That would be the 55 of Doziak. That's a battle for 7th back there.
Yeah, and he's getting some drafting help there as well as they're driving, as he's going to get towards the inside. Looks like who is that? The 55 might have gotten a little bit sideways, coming out of the corner just a little bit tight.
Yeah, we'll see this right here. This is the 55 of Steven Doziak headed down the front stretch. Going off into turn number 1, he just caught the wall on entry to the corner. You see him running right up there against the wall. He's going to lose a lot of position. He also has a lot of right front damage on that race car, and he is definitely going to slide back through the field as we're now back live. He's still losing positions right now. Oh, we got cars around, including last week's winner, Mike Tellier. This is a huge gaggle of cars in the wall, 5 cars in all. Phillips got there sliding through, but boy, oh boy, this is a big accident here involving a couple of the very, very fast cars. Let's see if we can see this from Mike Tellier's. Oh, that's the indication right there in front of the 41. And that'd be Chris Stewart there in the Tito's Vodka machine, Kevin, coming together. Nowhere for Tellier to go.
Man, just absolutely nowhere. Wrong place at the wrong time. The 41 chopped down in front of the 49. Got the 2 of them sideways, and then Tellier just kind of an innocent 3rd man in.
Yeah, and you see that contact. There goes the 41 around. There goes the 49. And watch the 13 pile in. And that's the 4. That's your points leader. The 4 of Jason Gracias got a chunk of that one as well. You see him. He was able to save that car. But that could be mega for your points leader coming in tonight. Early damage here before the halfway mark.
Wow, some huge chase implications there. Thankfully for Jason Gracias, he does have a fast repair. He has yet to use it because this is really the first incident that he's been involved with as we go on board here. He sees the smoke, he checks up, but just couldn't quite get checked up enough. as he got into the back of the car in front of him. I believe that was the 13. And man, just some heavy contact there.
Here we go on board with the number 99 of Philip Scott. A little bit further back in the pack, we'll be able to see all this unfold. There's the initial contact, and you see him getting on the brakes, on the brakes, on the brakes, on the brakes, seeing that huge gaggle of cars up against the wall, and whoop! Just kind of scoots on through. Good job there by Philip Scott to avoid that one.
Yeah, what a great job there. Wreck avoidance was huge as he saw the wreck, able to get the car woed up, get on the binders, and somehow, man, he was able to get around that accident.
Here we go from our turn 4 cam. Jeez, man, a lot of smoke from that one and a lot of very heavily damaged cars. Doziak's involved. Oh, man, the 13 and the 44 there got together at the end. The 21 got a piece of it. Derek Cook. That was a lot of cars involved in that accident. Man, got, I think Billy Thornton. I don't know if Thornton got a piece of it or not. I don't think he did. He did come down pit road here as we go back live. There he is leaving his pit stall. Steven Doziak was involved. Jason Gracias in the 4 got a piece of it. Derek Cook, DeMarco Starks involved. Kyle Gebeshausen involved. Don't think Garrett Gleason was involved in that in the number 7 machine, but I could be wrong. Chris Stewart involved. Tony Lucarelli involved. Just a whole bunch of the drivers in the field here involved in that accident. But let's see if we can kind of reset the field for you, because we have had takers on pit road, including that man right there, Garrett Gleason. But we've also had a couple of drivers who have elected to not come down pit road. And let's see if we can bring up the lap since pit. There you go. See your top 5 there: Valvano, Lang, Babb, Kegman, Heater, and Tellier. They all elected to stay out. Now, Tellier, I'm a bit surprised with, because he got all that damage in the number 97. And is he going to come down? Yes, he is. Same thing with Stephen Kegman. Perhaps these drivers may be getting into a window here that they're thinking possibly that, they want to come down pit road. Maybe they can make it to the end from this point. Going to be interesting to see how that all pans out.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Peter.
I was just going to say, but now we're down to what looks to be 4 cars who elected to stay out under this caution period.
It's going to be interesting to see how these cars who stayed out, especially Vinny Valvano, who's got 12 laps older tires than the majority of the field, about 6 laps or so older tires than the rest of the cars who did decide to stay out. So it's going to be interesting to see how Valvano can hold on to his tires, save them, and maybe, I guess, hope for a caution to come down a little bit later on in the race and keep this track position.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see exactly how that all pans out. But let's see if we can bring up the points graphic again. I left it up a little bit long last time because we got a little bit sidetracked. But with what just happened, with the 4 machine of Jason Gracias getting involved in an accident, he's now down in 12th as they run. Jason Freeman in the number 20 machine, he is running in the 6th position. So that's about 6 points. He needs a little bit more. Remember, he did pick up 1 point on the stage break in the number 20 machine. So he's now technically only 10 points behind Jason Gracias as we run. But then, of course, as things all sort out, he's going to need a couple more spots over Gracias. But now Gracias is out of fast repairs. So that number 4 machine, he has to be really careful here for the final 33 laps of the season.
Yeah, and if I'm Jason Freeman right now, I'm saying, man, I don't want to win the championship because of a wreck. But at the same time, man, I'm kind of hoping I can pick up some more positions, get the win on this race. Gracias maybe fall back a little bit, and really just kind of hope for the best here.
Pace car headed down pit road. The number 38 machine, Vincent Valvano, on the loud pedal again. A little bit different restart, a little bit better restart out of that number 38 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles machine as he goes across the yard of bricks. And they're all going to race off into turn number 1, led by Valvano. And the number 31 of Ryan Lang to his outside in the mellow yellow machine.
Yeah, Ryan Lang had a great restart there. Same with the 38 of Valvano. But here they go now side by side. Here's Freeman on the outside as well, trying to poke his nose into the business. And he's going to battle around the outside of the 38 for second place.
And look at them all race down past our backstretch camera as they head off into turn number 3. Maybe a bit premature here as they all race through. Wow, look at that shot there. great shot seeing all those cars flash on by before they make it here to turn number 4 in this long run down to the front stretch. Man, a little bit premature here. Did something happen? Well, there they go. They're all racing on by. Definitely a huge gaggle of cars here up the front. You can see them down the front stretch here, Bob, just looking for a little bit of real estate on the front stretch.
Yeah, looking very similar to the way Pocono Raceway's front stretch is with these cars. Oh, sideways, a little bit of contact there between the 38 and the 98, one of our chase drivers. Luckily, Maher was able to make the save, but man, little tense moments there for one of our chase drivers.
Yeah, fantastic save out of that number 98 machine. We'll see if we can go back and get one more look at this one as they headed off into turn number 1, because there was definite contact between the number 98 and that number 90, the number 98 and the 38 machine, and they were able to get things all sorted out. So very, very impressive, but that will drop the number 98 machine down the field. Meanwhile, up the front, Ryan Lang in that number 31 leading the field there, but here comes the number 77 of Connor Hall. He's led laps earlier in the show. He's going to want to try and get back up to the front in that all-black number 77 machine, going for the race lead off in turn number 1.
Yeah, Cameron Hall really has a strong car as these laps tick down, really able to fight back to the lead. A caution comes out, he'll fall back a little bit, but then, man, as soon as that green flag drops, he's right back out battling for the lead, and this is a great side-by-side battle between Hall and Lang.
They race down the backstretch with all those trees in the golf course in the way, just giving you that sense of speed as the number 77 once again dives to the bottom of the racetrack. This time, though, able to make the pass, but look at Jason Freeman there in the number 20. He's going to have to try and beat Jason Gracias. Gracias has snuck his way back up into the top 8. He's now right behind Billy Thornton, another one of the chase drivers, as Tristan Maher and Philip Scott now right there around the 10th position. This has been an interesting race here, Bob, and we have just now reached the halfway mark. 31 laps down, 31 laps down, 29 laps to go. This is going to be an interesting run to the checkered flag here, as these cars will eventually cross the yard of bricks, and the season will fall silent here for a couple of months before we ramp things up once again with the Xfinity car. But at least for now, some newcomers in the series starting to make some noise once again. But look at this gaggle of cars a little bit further back. That's 2x2x2.
Man, 2x2 as they drive down into turn number 3. On the outside, a couple of chase drivers there between the 4 of Gracias, 98 and 99 of Maher, and Philip Scott. You fit these 3 chase guys under a blanket as they're coming out of turn number 4 here side by side. And man, just some fantastic clean racing that we're seeing, and honestly, that is one of the best parts about this Total Nonstop Racing League.
Yeah, without a doubt. Clean racing is the name of the game, and we heard that last week, Bob, at Iowa from a couple of the newcomers to the league about how great it was to have green flag racing at Iowa. Not many cautions, a lot of side-by-side action, much like what we're seeing right now between these two up here. It's Lucarelli and Babb. Babb on the inside in the RC Cola Chevrolet Impala versus the 41 Impala of Lucarelli. Trying to use that Chevy horsepower to go toe-to-toe with one another here in turn number 3. And these couple of cars right here, they've fallen off the top 3 quite considerably. You look at the time deltas there on the left-hand side of your screen. About 4 seconds between Freeman, who's running 3rd, and Babb in 4th. So definitely a big choo-choo train of cars out here across the start-finish line.
Yeah, and they always say that when 2 cars are side by side, it's really going to slow them down. And I mean, that just goes to show Hall, Lang, and Jason Freeman, single file, able to use the draft to their advantage. These guys all focus more so on racing each other than trying to track down the leaders. And you can see this gap continues to grow.
Chris Stewart in the number 49 machine a little bit further back, as you see Gracias and the 99 of Philip Scott go side by side with each other down the left-hand side of your screen. But Chris Stewart trying to work his way up forward. Now the number 4 trying to get around the number 12 machine in front of him. That's Cam Caldwell. So that number 4 machine here, he's trying to work his way up, but Gracias just hasn't seemed to have the pace here that we've seen out of him a lot this year. Opening up the door for the number 20 of Freeman to possibly walk away with the 2020 B-Series Championship. Gracias a little bit of a block there on Philip Scott, but Scott's got his nose to the inside. I would expect Gracias to give up that spot here as they go off into turn number 1.
Yeah, here comes Scott on the inside of Gracias. Gracias moves over, lets him go, but here comes the crossover. He thought about it for a second as they're getting ready to head down into turn number 2. And, it's one of those things where 2020 has been such a year. Why not have the chaos that we've been seeing so far here in this race, especially with these chase drivers, to add more pandemonium to the year 2020.
And I'm watching the gaps here between the other drivers as the 99 of Scott. It looks like he's going to get a 2-for-1 in one lap. Got around the 4, got around Cam Caldwell now in the 12 as well. Man, that was tight there as we ride on board with your points leader, the number 4 of Jason Gracias, doing what he needs to as of right now to walk away with the series championship in the DiscountTire.com Dodge. Got to cross the start-finish line once again, but he's got to watch out here, Bob, because looming large in his rearview mirror, that's the number 97 of Mike Tellier. Remember, your pole sitter from tonight got involved in an accident, had to use a faster pair, and also looks like the number 49 of Chris Stewart also starting to make some noise back there in the number 49. There he is, Tito's Handmade Vodka on the hood, trying to climb himself back up into the top 10. So Gracias has to be careful here. He's definitely not showing the speed he's shown in a lot of racetracks we have seen this season. Definitely opening up the door for the 20 of Freeman, who also just made a pass to get around the 31 of Ryan Lang.
Yeah, great pass there for the 20 of Jason Freeman, and those are just extra points that he's picking up as the 4 of Gracias starting to fall back a little bit, doesn't really have the pace that we've seen all season. Jason Freeman still on his mid-season form here, picking up positions and having a pretty good race for him so far.
I'm looking a little bit further back in the pack. These are a couple of teammates. We've just highlighted Mike Tellier's climb through the field as well. Cam Caldwell there, a little bit of a slip will wiggle out the back end of that number 12 Chevrolet. He's got Chris Stewart all over his back bumper. In fact, Stewart was able to get past Mike Tellier from the last time we checked in with these drivers, which was just about a lap and a half ago. But does Tellier have a run on him here down the back stretch? He's kind of poking a nose out, just saying, hey, buddy, I'm here. But he's going to think better of it and stay in line. This is the battle for the 9th position between the 12, 49, 97, 98. And look at the 13 of Starks and the 55 of Doziak also starting to close in on this gaggle of cars. You focus on the number 98 machine, who is one of your chase drivers, Tristan Maher, who is back in this group of cars. Behind them, quite a ways back there to the number 22 Ward Burton throwback of Stephen Kegman with the number 22 look here tonight. Absolutely love that Caterpillar Dodge. It looks like the 49, Chris Stewart showing the nose now to Cam Caldwell.
Yeah, Stewart looking to make a move here as they come out of turn number 1 down into turn number 2 right now. Stewart on the inside, our winner last week at Iowa. And, one of the big things that he had said last week is he said, I want to go in and I want to race. I want to race for the win, but also I have to be conscious of these chase drivers and let them have their space. But if there's a position for me, I'm going to take it. And, clearly he's doing that, and he's doing a great job at it this week again.
Yeah, he definitely has a lot of pace here. He wasn't so excited about coming to Indianapolis last week in that number 49 machine because he said this is a racetrack that is just not good to him. And, he's running there inside the top 10, trying to work his way up. Meanwhile, a little bit further forward, Billy Thornton, one of your chase drivers, making a pass on James Babb. That is a move for the 4th position. Going to try and run down the number 31 of Ryan Lang, who has fallen off the back of Jason Freeman a couple of tenths. Meanwhile, up the front, I was going to say, it got up to a 2-second lead, but it's all going to be a race because caution flag has been flown here, and it looks like the number 12 machine has had some sort of an accident. Cam Caldwell there in the number 12 machine as they head off into turn number 1. Was there contact here, Bob?
Let's take a look here. Yeah, it looks like just a little bit of contact there with the 13, able to get him going around, overcorrected it, and then, oh man, another hard hit right into the outside wall, almost head on. Luckily, though, this time only a 1-car accident, fortunately for the rest of the field.
Yeah, we'll see him come into the picture here. Watch this contact here, right-hand side of your screen there. He is drifting and then slam bam up into the wall. That is one heavy lick out of that number 12 machine, and you see the rest of the field able to avoid him. We'll see if we can get one more look on this one. They go off into the corner. We'll see if we can slow this one down into the slow motion here. Was there definite contact? Yeah, man, that was a hard one to call. There might have been a little bit of neck code there before that number 12 machine goes spinning, it just seems like it was really tight with the number 13 machine. We'll see if we can get one more look of that one from the nose cam of the number 13 at DeMarco Starks. And, oh, yeah, that definite contact from the looks of that thing. And unfortunately for the number 12, definitely not going to be what he wanted to have happen here with just about 20 laps to go or so in this race. Meanwhile, up at the front, we'll see which ones of these drivers elect to come down pit road, because it's been a while since they were last on pit road here, Bob. I'm just trying to figure out how many laps exactly. About 14 laps since your leaders were back on pit road, but I don't think they took tires last time, so I expect to see most of them come down and take tires under this pit stop here.
Yeah, for sure. Less than 20 lap shootout here as Hall leads the field down pit road once they go back green at least. So I'd expect to see the guys, if they have tires left, which I would assume most of them do, I'd expect them to come down now, take tires, and be able to hold out till the end of this race.
We are getting word that something must have happened to Vincent Valvano in the number 38 machine. He's currently being scored one lap down. Jerry Glenn appears to be the one who will be receiving the lucky dog under this caution flag. See all the drivers going into their pit box. Here comes Billy Thornton. Is Thornton going to win the race off pit road? Yes, he will. Bit of a surprise there. Jason Gracias also going to come off pit road out front. So they might have done a little bit of strategy between the number 5 and the number 4 machine. In fact, I'm looking at their pit stops. Must have only been, well, I don't know if they would have taken 2 tires or fuel only, but Billy Thornton and Gracias getting out in front of Connor Hall in the number 77, who came in as the race leader. So perhaps we can get a word with them here in a little bit on 3 Wide TV once everything sorts out and they can get back behind the Ford Mustang pace car.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what exactly they did out there on pit road, especially with the championship looming here as Jason Gracias, our points leader, coming into tonight. Billy Thornton down in the 4th position of points, but every point matters. Right now, he's battling with Philip Scott for the 3rd position. So it's going to be interesting to see once everything cycles back around.
Yeah, Kyle Geveshausen right now is being scored as the race leader, but I'm not sure if he's going to come down pit road here shortly. He's in that number 44 machine there, left-hand side of the screen. And yes, he will come down pit road in the South Park Dodge Charger. So that will give the race lead to the number 5 of Billy Thornton. Looks like Vincent Valvano will be wanting to take the wave around. Well, let's see if we can dial up your current race leader, Bob. Number 5 machine of Billy Thornton there. Bob, take it away.
Billy Thornton, Bob Giaquinto up here in the 3 Wide TV booth. You got a copy? Hey, Billy Thornton, Bob Giaquinto, 3 Wide TV booth. You got a copy?
Well, you know what? Sometimes it just doesn't work out. We can't get a hold of him. We'll let him get back up into the racing room. Perhaps his microphone might be off or something like that. You know, some people do like to race in quiet. But Billy Thornton there. Let's see if we can get a word with tonight as the points leader. That, of course, being Jason Gracias here as they pace around here under caution. Let's see if we can talk to him. Bob, take it away.
Hey, Jason Gracias, Bob Giaquinto in the 3 Wide TV booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Jason. So coming into tonight's race, obviously points leader, a little bit of an exciting adventure out there on the track. Got involved into a little bit of an accident earlier on, but how's the car going after that?
It's trashed. I mean, I'm losing front straightaway speed, so I'm trying my best. I have still have my fast repair. I don't have faith this is going green, so hopefully it works out for me.
Well, it looks like we're going to be going back green here shortly, so we'll let you go back in there, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks. I'm going to need it.
All right. Well, interesting to hear that he hasn't elected to use that fast repair. I would have thought, with how heavily he was involved in that accident there about 20 laps ago, that he would have used that fast repair, but I guess not. And he's probably hoping for a couple more cautions. Of course, we've had a couple of cautions here tonight. Going to be interesting to see if we do go caution-free here, Bob.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting here as the pace car is going to be pulling off now. And you know, especially if you're someone like Jason Gracias, you have the points lead, you really want to protect. Maybe he is saving that for another accident as the green flag is out, and Billy Thornton with a great jump as they head off into turn number 1.
Yeah, but that number 77 machine, Connor Hall, around the outside. It's no denying him here tonight. Oh, big wreck in the back. Was that the number 55 machine of Doziak? Yo, my goodness. We got multiple cars stacked up. Kegman, Heater, and the 55. But it was the 55 of Doziak who went absolutely flying back here in this Toyota Camry. Let's see this one. Oh, contact 3 wide off into turn number 1. The 55 looks like he saves it, trying to save it. No, slam, bam. Oh, Heater getting involved. Caldwell getting involved. Kegman in the Ward Burton Caterpillar number 22 Dodge. That's a nasty accident here, folks. Right after that green flag. We'll see another look at this one.
Wow, that was a wreck that just wanted to happen. As we saw the 97 get down into the 55 here. 55 had it saved, got into the wall just a little bit, but he saved it, and then, man, gets into the 12 of Caldwell, and I've never seen a car get kick-flipped like that before, as everyone just kind of piles in behind him, and the yellow flag comes out.
What I think's crazy is Joe Heater, man. He was basically a bystander in all of this. Ooh, nope. There was a little bit of contact there with the 7 of Gleason. Gleason was holding his line. Heater comes down, and Heater unable to save it, and boom. Just stopped. And then all out of nowhere comes a sliding 55 and 22. Boy, I think Ryder Leangle in the chat put it best. The local medical facilities are glad this is virtual. I'm glad this is virtual. We've had one car slam into the pit wall here tonight. We've had cars flipping. We've had cars flying. Cars upside down. I mean, boy, oh boy, what a crazy race this has been to round out the 2020 B season. Very reminiscent of the way 2020 has been. Hopefully we can have a strong finish, though, not only to this race, but also the year. Hopefully we can end it on a strong note as all these cars working their way back to catch up to the iRacing pace car here. Going to be interesting to see. I'll figure out, am I actually live? No, I'm not. That'd be the reason why. So let's kind of reset the field for you guys, because we did have some takers on pit road. Jason Gracias in the 4, he came down pit road. Garrett Gleason, Jerry Glenn, Kyle Gevazalson, Cam Caldwell, Stephen Kegman, all of them coming down pit road. So maybe, just maybe, the 4 machine has elected to use that fast repair that he has been saving. But meanwhile, let's take this opportunity to once again remind the folks watching at home about the total Nonstop Racing point standings coming into tonight. It is the season finale, as you can see in the race title. Jason Gracias in the number 4 machine, who just came down pit road, currently being scored in 14th position. Came into tonight an 11-point advantage, but 1 point of that has been shaved off with the stage results on lap number 10. So only 10 points as they currently stand on the table between Gracias and Freeman. Freeman running in the 4th position, and Gracias currently running down in 14th. It's pretty much a dead heat here, Bob, between the top 2.
Yeah, this is really going to come down to the wire, and that just goes to show how evenly matched this entire racing league is here on 3 Wide TV. Just fantastic racing all throughout the season, and it all comes down to this probably 14 or so lap shootout that we're going to get here to decide the championship.
You see all those cars working their way down towards turn number 1. Absolute fantastic racetrack, this one here. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Yard of Bricks, and, very, very cool racetrack. Very unique. Great to have these stock cars here. And this personally is one of my favorite racetracks for pretty much all stock cars, all Indy cars. It just races so different. You have to back up your corners unlike any other track, and it just makes for a fun racetrack for me. It races a little bit like a road course. It's pretty flat, but you have to carry all that speed. You have to really feel the downforce here at this racetrack, and it really, really makes for what I like to call a driver's racetrack, a driver's oval. Unlike a lot of the cookie cutters out there that, you just kind of put your foot flat around, you kind of feather it, and this one you really have to get on the brake, you have to really drive the car, you have to manhandle it, you have to let it slide up off the corner. This is a racetrack where you really can kind of get into a four-wheel drift, and a lot of those drivers will be out there hopefully enjoying it here for the final 14-lap shootout here to round out the 2020 B season. And I gotta say, green-white checker could always happen here. Gonna be interesting to see how these final 14 laps turn out.
For sure. I mean, cautions always happen to breed cautions, like we just saw after this last restart, and I believe the restart before that. So it's, it's one of those things where if I'm one of the chase drivers, especially someone like Jason Gracias, just use my fast repair towards the back of the pack. Same with the 99 of Philip Scott. I'm keeping an eye out in front, looking for smoke and just getting on the binders early so I can try to keep my car as clean as possible as I try to get up through the field.
Pace car going to dive down onto pit road. Race in the 77. Connor Hall's hands fastest in practice. Started on the outside pole, and he is down and away. Got a huge jump on that restart. But the best battle is these ones a little bit further back. That might have been a little bit of a nudge there between the 5 and the 20. Billy Thornton there in the 5 machine around the outside, trying to hold on to that second position. Under fire from the number 31 league newcomer, Ryan Lang.
Yeah, Lang down on the inside trying to defend, but here's Billy Thornton on the outside as he's going to make it side by side coming out of turn number 2 down the long back straightaway, trying to set up a move as they get down into turn 3.
Yeah, this is some great racing. Look at the 20 of Freeman. He's digging. He knows. He just knows that the possibility of him winning a championship is a possibility. The 5 of Billy Thornton into the outside wall. He's going to lose a couple of positions. He's going to drop a little bit further back in the field. Where is Jason Gracias right now? He's outside the top 10. He's trying to catch Billy Thornton right in front of him. That's how much momentum that number 5 lost. He slid all the way back from inside the top 5 back to the 10th spot as we ride on board here with the number 4 of Gracias coming out of turn number 1. But up at the front, Connor Hall out to a huge lead, 2.2 seconds. We just went green a lap ago.
Man, that just goes to show how much momentum pays here at this track. Billy Thornton side by side there, got into the wall, fell back a ton, and because of that, a lot of the field got stacked up just enough for Hall to take out a 2.25 second lead now.
Mike Tellier there leading his teammates, the 97, 98, and 99. All three in order right there on the racetrack. 7th, 8th, and 9th. How about that? 90 numbers lower than the number they have on the left-hand corner of their car, or the sides and the roofs of their car, I should say. And I'll tell you what, Mike Floppy Tellier started this race on the pole, got involved in an accident, but he's been slowly working his way up through the field. And if this race goes green, I won't be at all surprised if he doesn't scoot away with a top 5 as Tony Lucarelli and Chris Stewart, last week's race winner from Iowa, they're now battling for position right there as they head down the back stretch between these two. Stewart's made a good recovery as he himself was also involved in an accident there around the halfway distance.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, these two drivers here were both involved in that same accident. So hopefully no bad blood between these two guys as the race winds down. But some good recoveries by both of those drivers.
Meanwhile, the battle for second position is heating up between the number 31 of Ryan Lang, Jason Freeman there in third. How about James Bapp there in the 00? Bapp's had a very solid run here today in the 00 RC Cola machine. He had a solid run last week at Iowa. They're finishing on the podium in that Chevrolet Impala, trying to go back-to-back on the podiums here on 3 Wide TV. That would be a pretty impressive way to start off your total nonstop racing career. But look at the gaggle back behind them. There goes the 98 and the 99 battling for a position. Tristan Maher and the number 99 at Philip Scott, and Mike Floppy Tellier there in the number 97. He's just going to back out of it and let his two teammates ride on by.
Yeah, smart move there. You don't want to go 3 wide into these corners. And especially when your two teammates are chase drivers, you especially don't want to mess up their season with only about 10 laps to go as they come to the line.
Jason Gracias there in the number 4 machine. Could he have not have used that fast repair, I wonder? under that last caution flag, because we now have just 10 more laps to go in the season, as the number 99 there, Philip Scott, able to get around the number 97 of Tellier. Good battle back here for the 8th position. Maher in 7th, and up at the front, you're not missing anything because Hall has scooted away. Meanwhile, the battle for the 3rd position starting to heat up between Babb and Freeman. These front, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, I should say, definitely having a little bit of a scrum between them here in the closing laps, but they don't appear to have anything for Connor Hall, still leading this race by 3 seconds.
Yeah, Hall definitely one of the most dominant cars of the night, and we've seen it all race long, where Hall would get the lead, he'd fall back because of a caution, but then start fighting his way back up to the lead, lose it again because of a caution, come back and battle back yet again. Definitely one of, if not the strongest cars out there on the track tonight.
Yeah, we look out back of Jason Freeman at the front of the 00 of Babb, and I see possibly a little bit of right front damage on that 00 machine, and that could just be hurting his speed. This racetrack is one of those racetracks where downforce is very, very important, and keeping your momentum up to keep that downforce level up, because the amount of downforce a race car produces, folks, is actually proportional to the speed that the race car is going. It's not directly proportional, but you really want to keep your speed up as much as you can. It's kind of one of those things that you have to think about, Bob, is in order to go faster, you have to go fast. That's just one of the things about these race cars. If you go slow around a corner, you're not going to produce as much downforce as if you were to go fast. So it's balancing that fine line and finding all of the speed out of the race car that you can. Meanwhile, last time by, Freeman actually pulled away from James Babb. You see that 00 machine right there. Good job here by Freeman to hold on to that 2nd position as these laps continue to wind down. Just 8 laps to go. It'll be 7 this time for Connor Hall, looking for his first career Total Nonstop Racing League win in his first career start.
Yeah, well, and if the race continues as we see it right now, it'll be back-to-back for newcomers to come into the league, get their first win of the season. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can hold on. The 20 had a big moment coming out of the corner. The 31 as well. Lang got into the wall, and he's going to fall back quickly.
Yeah, I got to say, that's a J.R. Hildebrand moment right there from the number 31 machine coming out of turn number 4. Just caught that wall. You see him kind of get suckered into it. Wall glue is what I like to call that effect. And I had to kind of wiggle his way off of it. He falls from 2nd all the way back to the 5th position. Now under fire here from Tristan Maher. And you know what? I'll tell you what, the one driver who's very happy to see that, though, is the number 20 of Jason Freeman. He's now up to 2nd. Gracias back to 10th. That, I think, means that Freeman is just Maher up the racetrack as well. He's going to get up into the marbles, get a lot of the clag on the tires, all of that dirty rubber. Meanwhile, up at the front, battle for 2nd. Bat's going to take away the spot from the 20 of Freeman. So just as I was saying, things started to look better for Freeman. Now he's starting to slide back, and he's under fire from last week's race winner, Chris Stewart.
Yeah, here comes Stewart now on the inside as they come out down the short chute, driving down towards turn number 2. But, man, just as we're saying that this is a great moment for Freeman, something happens and he starts falling back a little bit now.
Yeah, so, the commentators speak things, and we have a tendency of saying stuff that ends up being bad for a driver. The commentators curse, and as I say that, Jason Gracias, on the other hand, he's starting to work his way forward. He just got around the 99 and the 98. He just moved up to 7th. So your point seater coming into tonight, doing what he needs to do here in the closing laps, trying to close the gap to the number 20 of Jason Freeman. And Freeman once again under fire from the number 49 of Chris Stewart as they dive off into turn number 1. Just 5 more laps to go, 12.5 miles in the 2020B Total Nonstop Racing Series.
Man, just 5 laps to go, and just the consistency out of these championship drivers. Jason Gracias, like we said, coming into tonight's race, 2 wins on the year, average start of 4th, but an average finish of 4th. the guy we're looking at right now, the 20 of Jason Freeman, 3 wins on the year, all at different style racetracks as well. So really just a great year overall between these two drivers, and it's fitting that it would come down to the very last race and the very last couple of laps until we see who wins the championship.
Jason Freeman working his way now out of turn number 4. You see that 77 of Connor Hall. He has disappeared off into the distance. In fact, he isn't the fastest car out there on the racetrack anymore, that 77, but he's got more than enough of a lead to hold on, presumably for the next 4 laps, unless we see a caution flag wave. We continue to watch the number 49 do battle with the number 20. There's definitely a gap that's opened up back behind them. Stewart trying to look underneath that number 20 once again here down the backstretch. He's going to get back up behind him and draft with him down the backstretch. And we haven't mentioned that all too much here tonight, Bob, that draft is very important with this racetrack, with these long straightaways. We have mentioned the launch out of turn number 2, the launch out of turn number 4, and how important that is. But staying tucked up behind a race car, using that draft, is just as important.
For sure, it's easier to work through, the wake of the car in front of you than it is to go out by yourself. And, the momentum of getting a good launch out of turns 2 and 4 and the draft really come hand in hand.
Big hit by the number 99 machine of Philip Scott. Just pounded the outside retaining wall coming out of turn number 4. We'll see if we can catch this one. Look at this. Bam! That's a pretty hefty hit, that right side of that Scott Ford Taurus. You can tell that he's doing all he can here to get every single spot. Meanwhile, battle for the 3rd position rages on once again. Here comes the 49 of Stewart. Does he have a better spot this time? Looks like he does. Trying to find a little bit of grip down there, letting it all hang out, a little bit sideways through turn number 3.
Yeah, sideways through 3. Now here they are through 4. 2 guys battling back and forth. Here's Stewart on the inside. He's going to have the advantage for now, but a little bit of momentum. No, here comes the 31 of Lang, looking to make it 3 wide as they come across the straight.
How about this? 3 wide on 3 wide TV with just 2 laps to go, and contact between the 20 and the 49, and the 20 goes up the racetrack, loses spots. There goes Tellier on by, and now Freeman and Gracias, the 2 Jasons together. Gracias going to slide on through, and boy, oh boy, just like that, the 20 slides from 3rd all the way back to 7th. That's just hard racing at the end of the race. With 2 laps to go, he didn't want to give up anything, and quite rightfully so. He's on the line for a championship, and unfortunately now sliding back to 7th, Jason Freeman in the Mason-Dixon cornhole. What a ride that was, but a great job keeping it outside of the wall.
Yeah, great job not only keeping it out of the wall, but keeping the green flag still out there on the track, as white flag is in the air now for the 77 of Hall as he'll dive down into turn number 1.
And what a fantastic run it has been for this number 77 machine all day. He's pretty much kept it nice and clean, and that has definitely spoken to the speed that he has had. Oh man, Tristan Maher back there in the back of the screen getting into the turn 1 wall, but we're going to keep our eyes on this battle right here. This is the battle for the last podium's position between the 31 and the 41. Here comes the 31. He's using that draft that we just talked about, Bob. He's going to try and take the 3rd position as they go off into turn number 3.
Lang with a head of momentum has the position on the 49 of Stewart, but Stewart able to stay strong on the outside, looking maybe for a bit of a crossover move as the 49 down now on the outside, trying to push the 31 behind him, but coming across the line, the 77 of Hall is going to win here at Indianapolis.
And look at this battle. Bab's going to come home with 2nd, and the 49, last week's race winner of Chris Stewart, going to round out your podium. Back behind them, Mike Floppy Tellier and Jason Gracias. Those 2 were locked in a battle right there at the end. Wow, what a race to round out the 2020 B-Car Series here. And how about Jason Gracias, that man right there, your 2020 Season B Series champion here on the Total Nonstop Racing League. Gotta say, very, very deserving of the championship here tonight. Been a long season. He's come away with quite a few wins, and that discount tire machine, well, no discounts for him because he's your champion. What a run it has been for him to walk away with the championship here tonight.
Yeah, just a fantastic season overall, but man, what a gutsy performance out there for Jason Gracias today. Was up towards the front, involved in an accident, battled back up towards the front, had some great pit strategy, and overall, wow, what a win, or what a championship win, rather, for the 4 of Jason Gracias.
And what about the number 77 of Connor Hall, able to walk away with the checkered flag here tonight? Walked away not only with the checkered flag, but walked away from the field. He's going to burn it down here in just a minute. There goes the 12 of Cam Caldwell. And how about this? Your champion and race winner here at the start-finish line. Oh, Chris Stewart there saying, hey, buddy, how about that? And oh, how about that? Just do a little bit of burnouts around the series champion. That's one way to do it there, Bob.
Yeah, that's for sure. And man, just some pretty darn good burnouts there by the 77. I get the feeling that he's done this a handful of times.
Yeah, and there's the number 4 of Gracias. He's going to burn it down as well. Keep it off the inside wall. You just want to make sure that race car stays legal, right? Or maybe you hit the inside wall to make it legal. I don't know. I'm not condoning anything. But definitely those two there. The 77, Connor Hall, giving the number 4 of Gracias a little bit of a congratulatory burnout nose to nose here on the start-finish line of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Very impressive, these two.
Yeah, for sure. Really a great race by both of these guys. We've been talking about it all broadcast long. Hall with the up and down, battling back and really having the best car tonight. And Jason Gracias, a great gutsy performance to come away with the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely going to be a fun post-race interview here on 3 Wide TV. But folks, don't go away, because we're going to talk to your top 3 finishers here tonight as Boink, just off the inside wall there, number 4, Gracias. We're going to talk to our top 3 finishers as well as your series champion, Jason Gracias, when we come back. All right, folks, welcome back to post-race here in 3 Wide Team. We'll roll the tape here. That number 49 machine, very, very, very quick here tonight, was the number 49 of Chris Stewart. Bring him up here into the 3 Wide TV booth. Chris Stewart, Peter Short, tell you what, bud. Once again, very, very quick here tonight. We heard you last week at Iowa saying this wasn't a racetrack that was all too kind to you, but walking away with a third-place finish and a really, really strong right there at the end of the race. I know you got caught up in a mid-race accident, and you had to rally back from that. Tell us about the rally from that accident and how fast you were in the closing stages.
Yeah, it was a tough one. I missed my pit box, all kinds of stuff there went on. I guess I kind of got lucky there on the restart. Everybody kind of got aggressive, and the Red Seas parted, and I was able to sneak right through there. But sometime around that last run, I kind of figured out that you have to really back it up and get on the throttle to get the thing turning. That's really what helped me. And then once I got that little bit of clean air on the nose there, I was able to pick up time. So kind of got lucky. Things kind of fell the way they had to for me. I know it didn't seem like it, but it definitely worked out.
Yeah, definitely. You were able to find that rhythm and find that speed. And this is a racetrack where you really have to find your rhythm. You have to, fiddle around with your brake bias a little bit to figure out where to brake, where to back up your corner to be fast and roll through the center of the corner to get that launch out of turn number 2 and turn number 4 especially. But, this race is in the rear now. And I'm sure you're glad to kind of see it in the past. But hey, you're a relatively newcomer to Total Nonstop Racing. Only your second race here tonight, your second podium in as many races. So congratulations on that. Of course, next year we go over to the Xfinity car, and hopefully we get to see you in Total Nonstop Racing League next year. But what are your thoughts about the Xfinity car?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to buy the car. So it's gonna be a whole new learning curve, kind of like this week was too. So I'm excited for it. It's a new car, something new to do, and definitely something I'm gonna have to practice and learn how to drive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really surprised out of that. I got live timing and scoring apps up, and I see you have a 47.27 iRating, and of course, not having the Xfinity car that's a bit surprising. But what do you typically race, Chris? Or what iRacing cars do you enjoy running? It's obviously you have a 47.27, so you do a fair bit of official stuff. Kind of what's your specialty?
Actually, I don't do that much official anymore. When I first started, it was all short track stuff, and then I got into open trucks, and that's where the bulk of that iRating came from, was C open. I just mainly like to tweak on things and stuff, so it's kind of natural that I went into the C open there, and yeah, I guess I found a new love for the ARCA car there 2 weeks ago, and hopefully it transfers over into the B car.
And I think the ARCA car, it kind of gets a bad rap because it is, down there in the D class. And from an official side of things, you don't often get a clean official D class race ever. Doesn't matter if you're racing with A class drivers or, high I rating, low I rating. It just never seems to happen. But definitely this car, I think it gets a bad rap for what it is. It's a lot of fun to drive when you get that setup that just kind of fits with it, especially here on this racetrack. I know last year I raced this race and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So hopefully you had a lot of fun here tonight, and hopefully we see you back next season on Monday nights here in the Total Nonstop Racing League there, Chris, because it should be a good one.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Right now, I feel like this is the best handling car on iRacing, fixed or not. And usually I try to shy away from fixed setups just because they're usually tight, right? But yeah, no, I'll definitely be back for the Xfinity. It's a great bunch of guys. I do want to say sorry for that one wreck there. I don't know if I caused it or he kind of came down across my nose. What's done is done. It doesn't matter now. But yeah, I'd like to say I'm sorry. And congratulations to, I believe, Jason, who won the championship.
Yeah, Jason Gracias walking away with a 2020 B Series championship. So a big shout out to him. But Chris, you know what? From what we've seen out of you, if you're back next season, you're going to be up there contending for a championship as well. Your second podium in as many races. And I know you have some people you want to give a shout out. So let's hear them.
Yeah, definitely. The whole team over there, Connor, Jimmy, DeMarco, Ryan Lang, and unfortunately Jerry Glenn didn't have quite the good night as you'd hoped. But yeah, all them, we put a lot of practice in throughout the week. So it's definitely nice to have them around to kind of, keep you motivated and keep you fast.
Absolutely. Well, Chris, congratulations on finishing on the podium here once again in the Total Nonstop Racing League. And until we see you again, best of luck. Have a great holiday season, and hope to see you soon here on 3Y TV.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me, and thank you guys for putting this on. It's been fun.
All right, well, folks, that is tonight's third place finisher, Chris Stewart, here tonight, 2 for 2 on podiums. And I believe that Bob Giaquinto has caught up with tonight's second place finisher, 0-0 of Jimmy Babb.
Hey, Jimmy Babb, Bob Giaquinto up here in the 3-Wide TV booth. Jimmy, another great race, 2 for 2 here on the podium, besting your finish last week of third, now second place here at Indy. Tell us about your night.
We had a pretty good night. once again, just wanted to be respectful to guys running for the championship. I tried to keep it clean the whole race. Me and the 5 kind of touched. Apologize to him if I came down or if he came up, whatever. We both were okay. But it was just conserving the set and the tires, and kind of not showing what I was gonna show until the very end there, and that's what we did. We kind of rode kind of 5th through 8th, I guess, the first half of the race, and then we moved forward from then and ended up with a good finish. It was Connor had an absolute rocket ship, and Stewart. So those they're teammates of mine. They're real good drivers, and it's fun to run with them, and it's fun to run with all you guys. We appreciate y'all having us.
Yeah, we love having newcomers come to the league, and especially when you guys are as talented as you guys are, especially. Jimmy, you had mentioned that you're kind of hanging back there between 5th, 8th for most of the night. How tough was it to really conserve the tires, especially when tires are so limited here in the Total Nonstop Racing League?
Oh, it's a guess, to be honest with you, because this car, one, we normally don't do any fixed stuff, but because of this car being as awesome as it is, it accepts the fixed setup pretty well, and you can drive it off the right rear tire. So saying that, being able to drive the car off the right rear tire, you're gonna lose the right rear at some point, and you're gonna lose the right front at another point. So depending on how you drive is what's going to go first. So yeah, it's kind of how long do I hold the wheel straight? How easy am I going to be on the gas? How hard am I going to be on the gas? And at some point, you really gotta smack the gas pretty hard to keep the car rotating. And if you don't have a right front at that same time, that's why you see some of those guys kind of crab walk and hit the wall, because they've got the right front hot, and then they decided, oh my God, I'm going to use my right rear. So yeah, it's a guessing game. I guess it's more knowing the car. But great group of guys, fun to run with.
And, talking about knowing the car, next season for 2021, this league is going to be transitioning to the Xfinity car. Do you have any experience racing with those cars?
We all come from more of the truck stuff, and we're doing some open stuff now, getting Connor up and running because he's got some stuff going on. But no, hardly. Now, I don't. Some of the other guys do. But I personally like the car. I like the Xfinity car. I don't know. I think it'll be fun for everybody, because it'll be, anytime you can learn and work on something new, that's a little bit of fun. And, I probably wouldn't do it, but you are now giving us a reason to want to do it. But we'll be all in on that car, and we'll have to learn it just like the other guys.
Fair enough. And James, before we let you go, do you have any shout outs for us here?
Yeah, RVR Racing, Rearview Mirror Racing, Connor Hall, Chris Stewart, all my guys, Ryan Lang, DeMarco Starks, Swift Springs, Circle Track Magazine, Van Dorn Racing Development, a bunch of people that I look up to, and the reason why we do this. But yeah, it's fun, and thank y'all for having the league, and for you interviewing me, and also Ninja Cock Bump Stops, nice line of bump stop stuff for real race cars, and that's it. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thanks, Jimmy, and good luck, and hopefully we're going to be seeing you out there on the track again next year come 2021.
Keep us posted on the schedule, and we'll be there.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for our second place finisher here tonight, the 00 of Jimmy Babb. But let's see if we can go down to tonight's race winner, the man who absolutely dominated here tonight. That would be the number 77 machine of Connor Hall. Connor Hall, Peter Short here in the 3YT booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you what, man, 41 laps led here tonight at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You made it look easy. You started on the outside pole, fastest in practice, and once you got the lead there after that stage break, you didn't look back all too much, pretty much dominating that second stage. Indianapolis is one of those racetracks. You either love it or you hate it. It's one of those racetracks that really puts the racing wheel in the driver's hands to get around this joint. First off, do you like this joint? And secondly, what was your secret here tonight? Because you were lights out.
This was my first race at Indianapolis. I've maybe like practiced the Indy car here a couple of times and whatnot, but I've never been a real fan of it just because it's not a very racy track. It doesn't promote a lot of drivability because you all have to just hug the bottom and pray it sticks kind of racing. And at the same time, I enjoy it because I enjoy the chess match. You have to really line up your passes, but at the same time, I wish I would have been able to run Iowa last week with them and stuff like that. And it's a historic track in real life. It's cool and all, but as for the sim, I'm not a huge fan of it.
I'll tell you what, you were absolutely dominant here tonight. Iowa was a good race last week, and then, of course, this one being the final round of the championship before we move over into the Xfinity cars next year, the B-Class cars. What are your thoughts about going to the B-Class cars, and do you think we'll get to see you out here more in the Total Nonstop Racing League?
It really all depends. I don't exactly know when the season starts. I don't have a ton of off time right now. We're going to get back real life racing around February. So, if it starts kind of December, January, I'll be able to come out a couple times. As for the B car, I enjoy it. It's usually a freer car, which I enjoy, especially in the fixed setup world. I hate fixed setups because they just start plowing, and I have a tendency to want to burn the right front off of a lot of cars. But yeah, I hope to be here, make it out as much as I can. Pretty much just get on here to hang out with, my guys on RVR and work on some setups here and there. So hopefully y'all see me.
Well, I'll tell you what, Connor, you didn't have to work on the setup here tonight because that fixed setup was completely to your driving style here tonight, walking away with it. But hey, I'll tell you what, what was your strategy here tonight? Because, this is a racetrack where if you get a lot of green flag running, saving your right side tires is very important. But of course, we didn't get a lot of green flag runs here tonight. We got a lot of short, 10, 15 lap runs thereabouts. Were you kind of playing the short game, the long game, or, were you playing both?
I was trying to play the long game at first. I was the last, front car to take tires. I took about 5 laps after everybody else. And then around, I think we had a caution at lap 39 it was, and I was trying to save my tires for a 10 to go caution or whatnot. But then once because we were having that long green that was going to lead up to a pit stop on lap 48 for me, and I was going to be able to pit 5 laps later than everybody else. So, I was trying to play the long game, and then when the yellow came out, you have to take there because I'd rather use them and abuse them than get caught without taking, leaving a set of tires unused. So that was kind of my strategy, and everybody else has kind of got their own, obviously, and just tried not to burn the right front off, keep the car turning as long as possible.
Well, you definitely made it work out for you, Connor, here tonight, taking your first win in your first career Total Nonstop Racing League race. Congratulations on that. I know you have some people to give a shout out to, so let's hear it.
Yeah, just all the guys at RVR, they I'm not a huge iRacer. They've definitely helped me get into it, and they've really brought me up to speed with a lot of good setups, a lot of good time working with me, and just I really don't have any iRacing sponsors, but those guys really helped me kind of grind and get it done. So thanks to them.
Well, hey, tell them that you're going to be on a 3-wide TV broadcast each and every week next year in Total Nonstop Racing League, and see if they can put their name on your hood, because lightning quick here tonight. Definitely be seeing a lot of that sponsor on the hood next season if you're able to come back. Connor, congratulations here, and best of luck till we meet again.
Thanks.
All right, well, that is going to do it here for our post-race interview with the race winner, Connor Hall. And I believe that Bob Giaquinto has caught up with tonight's series champion, Jason Gracias.
Well, I'm down here now in Victory Lane with Jason Gracias, the 2020 B season champion of the Thornton Graphix Cup. And Jason, first of all, congratulations. This race, definitely eventful one, but you wound up coming out ahead at the end.
Hey, Bob. Thanks a lot. Yeah, it was an eventful race. It didn't go to my strategy at all. Actually, I kind of got screwed over a couple times. Qualifying, I screwed up going into turn one, both laps. So I was about 3/10 off where I should have been in the race. I was being too cautious in the beginning, and it bit me. And I just never got the strategy right. Last time I went down pit road, I thought I checked my fast repair. I didn't have it checked, so I was driving with a little bit of engine damage that last run. But I guess that kind of helped me out because I was able to get into turns a bit lighter and save some tire and hold off our top six to clinch the championship.
And, it was one of those things where, it felt like you were always just right there throughout this race, right around the top 5, give or take. Got involved in an accident. Car got, pretty badly banged up. You were able to get it repaired for the most part. What was the original strategy coming into the race?
I was hoping to qualify somewhere within the top 5, and then from there just ride. Stage points didn't matter to me. I knew I had an 11-point gap to Freeman, so as long as I was within 11 positions, I figured top 5 is guaranteed championship clinch. So that was my plan. Of course, nothing ever goes to plan in life. You got to be a little bit lucky, which is where preparedness meets opportunity. And thankfully, thanks to a lot of praying and the man upstairs, it worked out in my favor.
Yeah, that's for sure. And, Jason, really a fantastic season this year. 2 wins on the year, average start of 4th, average finish of 4th. Really consistency, the name of the game. And what exactly helped you get this championship?
It's a blend of things. So when I first came back to sim racing, I think last year, after about maybe like a 14-year gap, or maybe it was 12 years, I can't remember exactly. I raced nothing but the ARCA car and the truck. And I came close to winning the iRacing ARCA Menard Series championship back in August, and I missed out on it by like maybe 20 points. So that was stung. So I always had some drive and motivation in the back burner because I got the truck championship and C fixed, but I couldn't get the ARCA car. And this season, competition was fierce. Jason Freeman put up a hell of a fight. If I wasn't up front, he was up front. So he really pushed me to be more consistent, hit my line and not make mistakes. So, and then Mike always, with his quick laps and everyone in the league, it was a good challenge, pushed me a little bit. In the last couple of weeks with Chris Stewart and Connor Hall coming in, really made me want to elevate my game.
Yeah, for sure. Just some fantastic racing. Overall, looking forward to next year, 2021, moving up to the Xfinity cars. How much experience, if any, do you have with this car?
I have none. I am still trying to figure it out. For me, the Xfinity car either is too loose or too tight. So I'm happy to have a platform to try it out. But it's going to be a learning curve for sure. I'm not expecting any speed until maybe halfway through the season. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to the opportunity. It is also one of my favorite cars. Drives a lot better. Probably one of the harder cars to drive next to the ARCA car. So it should be a good time.
For sure. And, before we let you go, Jason, do you have any shout outs?
Yeah, again, thanks to the man upstairs for helping me get through this last race. There's times where I was panicking, but, I just kept calm and cool. Thanks to Billy Thornton and Thornton Graphix for sponsoring this league. I'm looking forward to seeing the trophy he puts together. Thanks to Dunn Raceway Park for also sponsoring the league. Shout out to you and Peter. You guys do an excellent job in 3Y TV. Hopefully you're back next season. I'm looking forward to having you guys. And shout out to Garrett for the custom diecast that's coming and for all the work he's put in for making the league happen, getting us back together, funding it out of his pocket. So he's done a great job.
That's for sure. Well, Jason, congratulations again. You are the 2020 Thornton Graphix Cup champion here on the Total Nonstop Racing League. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. And one last shout out. Thanks to Cosman, Splash and Go Graphics. That 4 car was probably the best looking car out there. My biased opinion. But yeah, check out Splash and Go Graphics on Facebook. But thanks, guys.
Well, thank you, Jason.
All right. Well, we have one more interview here tonight, and that is with the series owner, Garrett Gleason. Garrett, my, 2 seasons now in the book here in the Total Nonstop Racing League. Jason Gracias now punching his ticket into the Total Nonstop Racing books. But I got to say, been a great season here and a lot of fantastic racing and great to be a part of as well.
Well, thank you for the kind words, Peter, and just wanted to let everybody know that we weren't broadcasted the year that you were our champion, so you were our inaugural champion when we came back. But
hey, the scheme looked really good tonight, buddy.
That's not what I heard you say. The Doziak told me it sucked. That's okay. Just want to congratulate Jason Gracias on being our champion, and congratulations to all the guys that were in the chase, Jason Freeman, Tristan, Billy, and Philip, because it would have been an honor for any of those guys to represent this league as we go forward, because they're amazing people and they're amazing drivers.
Yeah, we the words kind of fumbled out in my mouth at one point, and I meant to say something that was complete opposite of what came out in my mouth. So at least it wasn't a Freudian slip or something like that. But hey, Garrett, 2 seasons now in the books, both with the Arkham Menards car, and now we're going to go over into the Xfinity car, the B-Class car for next season. And that's going to be a lot of fun. A completely new car. A lot of these drivers in the series haven't driven it yet. And going to be a kind of a fun, another adventure for the series. Another chapter in the Total Nonstop Racing League books.
Yeah, I certainly think it was time for a change, to try to do something different. I think those cars have a little more power and should be a little bit more fun to drive, less glitchy, not getting into the walls. And these guys could handle anything. I mean, the quality of racers we have here, even the guys that have just joined within the last 2 weeks, they're amazing, and I'm sure it'll be a smooth transition for them.
Yeah, definitely great to see that throughout the season, the series continued to pick up drivers. You don't see that out of a lot of series. I mean, here tonight, 21 starters in the final round. That is fantastic. In the final race of the season, having 21 cars out there on the racetrack, not very many series out there can say that you picked up people as the season went on, all the way to the final race here at Indianapolis before moving on to next season, hopefully bigger and better fields for the 2021 series, Garrett. But I got to say, coming back from the NASCAR Racing 2003 days, arising from the dust, from the ashes, it's become a fantastic series and been really fun to be a part of here on 3 Wide TV.
Well, I have to thank the people that made it possible. This league, it was never about me back then, and it's not about me now. This is a we league, not a me league. And I know I beat that phrase to death over the years, but it couldn't be more true. You guys, 3 Wide TV, and Peter and Bob up in the booth. Without you guys, we wouldn't have the audience we have, and we wouldn't be able to attract these new guys. You guys are so great at what you do, and it's really, it almost brings me to tears how grateful I am from with you guys, having you guys. Billy Thornton sponsoring us. He's going to make an incredible trophy, and I can't wait till it's done. I could show everybody on our league Facebook page. The fans, every week we have at least a decent group of people in the YouTube chat. I watch after the race, and it's incredible. And one more thing, I did want to, I don't know if you touched on it, but next week, I believe you're broadcasting the charity race that we're doing with Chris Darling's league. So I encourage everybody to tune into that as well, to benefit the Secret Families charity. We're going to try to sponsor a family for Christmas. Yeah,
that's right. We will be here on Monday night broadcasting that. We're going to be broadcasting it pro bono. I believe it's going to be myself and Bob alongside me. Going to be calling that one flag to flag, of course, being put on by Total Nonstop Racing League, as well as the National Sim Racing Association, which we broadcast here on 3 Wide TV on Friday nights. And folks, you don't want to miss it. Make sure you hit that notification bell if you haven't already here on 3 Wide TV so you don't miss up that action. because it's going to be a fun one, super speedway action, money that's going to be donated for charities. In fact, I heard this morning from Christopher Darling that they have already met the goal for that race that they were trying to achieve for charity. So pretty awesome to hear that they've already met the goal and we haven't even turned a lap for next week's race. So definitely forgot to mention that during the broadcast here tonight, Garrett, but definitely a very timely opportunity to bring that up.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I know it's going to be a fun time, and I'm hoping we have a big field and we could just put on a good show for everyone and raise some awareness. And it's a tough year for everybody, and to be able to give a family a Christmas that they might not otherwise have certainly means a lot to a lot of the guys here, and it's an honor that Chris Darling asked us to be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, Garrett, I know you have some shout outs to thank here to kind of wrap up the series, so let us hear them.
Yeah, we'll go through it one more time. Thanks to obviously 3Y TV, you guys. Thanks to our fans. Thanks to Billy Thornton for being a sponsor. Thanks to the fellow administrators of this league who guide me through getting this back up and running, because it's not easy on a daily basis because I was gone for so long. And just want to give a shout out to a couple of fans specifically that I'm friends with. Craig, Crystal, Rubel. I hope you're feeling better. Get well soon. Bob and Pat from the Old Forge Borough. I miss you guys. I'm sorry I got fired, but I do miss you. And one last time, congratulations to Jason Gracias. I can't wait to see how he's going to represent us out there, and I'm sure it won't be the last time he's a champion in this league.
Absolutely. And the crazy thing is, after all this time, I remember racing Gracias back in the day in the NR 2003 game simulator, whatever you want to call it. Lightning quick back then. I mean, Gracias was pretty much untouchable out there on the racetrack. There were a couple of them that I really looked up to back then, and here he is, 12, 13 years later, and once again being a champion here in the Total Nonstop Racing League. Really, really crazy to think about. It's been a long time here as part of this league, and looking forward to what next year has to bring.
Me too. Thank you so much, guys.
All right, well, folks, that's going to do it for our post-race interviews. And Bob, really crazy way to end the series. Of course, the number 4 machine, Jason Gracias, walking away with the series championship in that discount tire machine. Thoroughly earned it all season long. Lights out. Very, very stellar run right here at the end. Facing adversity, coming through it here tonight at Indianapolis to walk away as the champ. I don't think you could have written a better story to close out the season.
Honestly, no. I mean, just the racing alone today has been absolutely phenomenal, and really was just a perfect representation of what we've seen all season long, with just great battles all across the racetrack, and really just a whole lot of fun to be able to be up here in the booth to watch these races and call them.
Yeah, that is for dang sure. Got to give a huge shout out to our friends at Thornton Graphix. I know Garrett Gleason mentioned Billy Thornton, and of course he comes home here tonight. I believe he's going to walk away with the 4th place in the championship here when all things are said and done. Sponsoring the league with Thornton Graphix. Make sure you check them out. There's a link in the description for all your graphics needs, as well as Dunn Raceway Park in Old Forge, Pennsylvania, indoor off-road RC racetrack. Both of those sponsors helping to put together this series for all of the drivers so they can get out there and enjoy it. And very positive ending to the season with new drivers coming in. And yeah, they might have sunk up the show a little bit for the regulars, but that's what you love to see, the competition being pushed that much further. But speaking of competition, it was the number 77 machine here tonight. Connor Hall walking away with the end of the race win. But Bob, why don't you take us through tonight's race results?
For sure. Like you mentioned, Connor Hall, the winner tonight. James Babb coming in second. One of our more recent newcomers, started racing with us last week at Iowa. Chris Stewart got the 3rd and final position here on the podium in 3rd. Ryan Lang in 4th. Mike Floppy Tellier able to salvage after wrecking earlier on in the race, able to salvage a top 5, finishing in 5th. Jason Gracias in 6th, our 2020 B season champion. Jason Freeman again behind him in 7th. Tristan Maher finishing 5th overall in the standings and 8th here tonight in this race. And then Philip Scott, our 3rd place points finisher, finishes in 9th. And then Garrett Gleason able to round up the top 10.
Yeah, G-Money there, sneaking in a top 10 right at the end of the season. DeMarco Starks, newcomer to the league, finishing home 11th here tonight. Stephen Kegman in the Ward Burton, number 22 Caterpillar Dodge, finishing in 12th position. Derek Cook, one spot behind him in lucky number 13th. Cam Caldwell, who had a strong race going, finishing in 14th. He was involved in an accident at one point. Billy Thornton, the last of your chase drivers there, struggling towards the end of the race, getting involved with some contact with the outside wall, scruffing up the right side of that car. I think he was succumbing to that damage right there. Jerry Glenn also had quite a bit of damage on the 23 machine, finishing in 16th. Kyle Geveshausen, 17th, last car in the lead lap. Vincent Valvano in the number 38 machine led a couple of laps earlier in the race. He comes home 18th, one lap down. Not 100% sure exactly what happened to Vincent Valvano. Saw him lose a lap at one point there late. I think it was a green flag pit stop that might have taken him down a lap or two, but unable to bounce back from that one, finishing 18th. Tony Lucarelli in the 41 Monster Energy machine, finishing 5 laps down in 19th. Joe Heater rounding out the top 20, and rounding out your 21 car field here tonight, Steven Doziak Jr., 18 laps down in that number 55. Bob, it went on a couple of rides here tonight. Doziak not having the night he was looking for. But that man right there, the number 4, Jason Gracias, walking away with the series championship. And big thanks to the viewers like you, as well as SimTV, for the camera angles that we brought you each and every week this season in the Total Nonstop Racing League. But before we go, Bob, final thoughts?
Man, what a fantastic season, and especially thanks to you, Peter, and 3Wide TV booth for allowing me to be up here in the booth with you and calling these races. Started back, I believe, at the Dover race, just a handful of races into the season, being able to follow along with everyone here at Total Nonstop Racing, and I'm already looking forward to next year in 2021 for the Xfinity car, the brand new season, and man, it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to figure out who's going to be the next champion here in the Total Nonstop Racing League. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you won't miss another lap of Total Nonstop Racing League action here on 3Wide TV. But for myself, Peter Short, Bob Giaquinto, and everyone else at the 3Wide TV family, want to give each and every one of you a good night, and we'll see you again in 2021.